This is going to be a video on how to replace the FluidMaster toilet fill valve and flapper. I'm probably not going to replace the flapper. The flapper was replaced not too long ago. A couple months ago I did a video on that. The handle was replaced a few months ago. I did a video on that. This is the old one, and I opened this thing up. I just did a video on that also, and I wasn't able to remove the sediment. It kind of sprays water out of here, so something's wrong with this flapper, with this fill valve. The first thing you're going to want to do is turn off the water on the wall, and then you're going to flush the toilet to drain the tank, and then you're going to go over here and you're going to turn this thing counterclockwise to the left. Get yourself a bucket so that you can catch the water. Sorry about the bad lighting in here, sorry about the fan, but it's pretty warm in LA today. It's going to be a long video. If you like it, do a thumbs up, a subscribe, a like, a share, a comment. If you want to donate to my channel, ask for my PayPal info. And what else is there? Even if you don't want to donate, if you order from Amazon, if you would go to my video description and click on the Amazon affiliate link before you do any of your orders, it will help me. You've got to do it right before you do the order. So this is what we're going to be putting in. Step number one, after you turn off the water and drain the tank, get yourself a bucket. You're going to unscrew this to the left counterclockwise, and then the water is probably going to pour out of the tank. That's why you have the bucket, and it might pour out of here. Really should have some towels for the floor, but I don't care about that right now. I'm just going to unscrew this, and right now I'm unscrewing the water line. So there's a little, there it goes, the water. I don't know if you saw that. Not too much water poured out of there. That's not the bad part. As long as the valve is off, you're good. You might have a little bit of water. The big problem is on the bottom of the tank, because you've got all that water in the tank still. There is a nut, a plastic nut. You should be able to remove it without a wrench. If you need a wrench, get a wrench. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the tank right now and I'm going to remove this from the, I can't remember what that is, the fill pipe or something, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. So this is the hardest part right now, is unscrewing the nut. See how hard that is? There goes the water. And I should have a better bowl or something to catch the water without squeezing this bucket in there. I'll show you what the nut looks like in a minute. It's a really fine thread, so that's why, okay, so it's off. So that's what it is. I think you can see it. The flat piece goes towards the toilet. I'm going to put that on the toilet seat. I'm going to pull this thing out. The rest of the water comes pouring out right now, and it's making a big mess because I didn't use the right bowl. I want to get as much water out of there as I can. Then I'm going to get a sponge, which I should have had with me beforehand. And I don't have a sponge. You got a good amount of water in there. Pour it down the sink. Yeah, I don't have a towel on the floor. So I'm going to open this thing up now. That's the hardest part right now. And sorry about the noise. So I make videos because I like sharing with people and helping them. And I'm an Amazon a YouTube creator. Great. I thought this was going to be an easy open container, but there's the flapper. As I said, I'm not going to install it now. What else do we have in here? Comes with a hose, a new hose. Oops, did I just break the valve? What else do we have here? We got a couple of different size. Looks like we have a gasket and a nut, and a little hook that's going to hold the water valve. So as I said, I'm not going to turn off the video camera. So I make videos to help people, and yes, I do get a little bit of money as a YouTube creator when I post this stuff and people click on the links, the video, the advertisements. So don't complain about the advertisements. It helps me out, keeps me going. What else do we have here? So we've got some instructions that it comes with, and you definitely want to read the instructions, but for the most part, there's an adjustment on here as far as height. And what you can do is, if you saw that, there's this little clip over here. You can lift that up, you slide that up. Let me get this up a little better. You can slide this thing up, which allows this thing to, some people like to pull it out, other people just like to unscrew it. You can see how it's going in right now. Or you can just lift to adjust things. So all you really do now is you put this in the toilet, and then you're going to take your gasket. I'll show you that. And you're going to, hold on a minute. Yeah, sorry about that. I had a lot of flooding going on over here. So this is the fill valve, the fill pipe. The fill pipe is very critical right now. So what you want to do is you want to take, let me show on here you can see it says critical line, there's CL, critical line. This needs to be 1 inch above that pipe. And so the way to do it is you look at the pipe, and this is needs to be 3 inches above the pipe. This is the easiest way. So if you take the top of this thing and make sure that it's 3 inches above the pipe, then this will be 1 inch above that pipe, and that's the most important thing. And the way you do that is you lift this ring up, you pull this thing in or out. They say you can turn it, but it's easier just to pull it. And then after you get it to the right point, you press this thing down to lock it in place. And now it's not going to move anymore. Then you're going to put this into the toilet, but you're going to take this rubber piece first, flat piece up, flat side up. You're going to put that over here. And I'm just going to push it all the way on. Out of camera, so I can get it positioned right. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So you can see right now, it's all the way on there. And then really all you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to insert it into the toilet. And then you're going to take this piece and put it on here and tighten it down. You shouldn't need to use a wrench. You should be able to do it hand tight. So I'm going to do that right now. The problem I have with this toilet is that it's a weird style toilet, and it really does not give me, I can't lower the tripod anymore, sorry. It doesn't give me a lot of space between the fill valve and the toilet tank, but there's just barely enough. Yeah, I mean right now I'm looking and I can see, I'm going to screw this in. I want to make sure that the toilet tank cover fits on, because on the last install the tank cover rested on the valve, which is not a good thing, but it did rest on the valve. So let me make sure that that's not going to be the case this time. It might be. It definitely might be. Find out. Yeah, that's not good. That is definitely not good. It's resting on the valve, and that is more dangerous than it not resting on the valve. So I can't follow those rules for the for this. I have to lower this a fraction, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and lift up that little plastic ring. In fact, I'm going to take the whole thing out, make it a little easier for me so I don't break anything. That's not according to the rules for the plumbing code, but this toilet does not have a lot of space between the tank cover. So we'll be off a little bit. We'll be okay. It almost looks like the critical line is very close to the, let me look. We're going to look, we're going to see the critical line is probably about 1/4 of an inch above, but I don't have a choice. Got this hand tight. I'm going to make it tighter. I wish I had channel locks right now, but that's tight enough. That hurt. So now we've got this rubber hose, and you're probably going to need a scissors for this because you don't want this hose to be exceptionally long, excessively long. Just trying to clean up the water that's spilled around here. And this is the water piece that you're going to have to put the hose on, and it's probably easier to do it before you install it into the toilet, but not a big deal. You just wiggle back and forth. It will go over there, and then you're going to attach it to this piece over here, and this clip is going to attach onto the water pipe. I'll show you what that looks like. Get the water pipe on there, the water hose, and this just slides over the toilet thing over there. It's probably longer than it needs to be, which is not a big deal, at least for me. So how does this work? You separate this, you slide it down. Yeah, that hose is a little bit too long, but it's not a big deal. The cover's going to go on there. It's totally fine. I can cut it down if I need to. And so we're almost done. The most important thing, make sure you connect the water on the bottom back to the fitting to your new hose. Go slow with this. You do not want to strip this at all or you're in trouble. Make sure it's lined up. If I was you, if you have the water off, you might want to replace this hose while you're at it. It only costs $3 or $4, and maybe $5, $6, who knows. And that way you don't have to worry about the hose rupturing one day and flooding the house. So now you turn on the water and you hope that the toilet tank fills up and that it doesn't flood. And if it floods, then you got a problem, and you might have to do some adjusting of the water with this thing, this screw over here will decide how high it fills up. Number one thing, okay, so this the hose is attached. I'm going to turn the water on at the valve. That's a good sign. We have water filling into the tube. And you want to be really careful. You want to stay next to the valve so you can make sure if you have to turn it off, you're there. If you need to shut off the water flow, you can lift this thing up. And I think that's about it. Sorry for the long video. I got a dog over here. I'm at my mom's house right now. There's a lot going on. We're on LA lockdown, quarantine life for the corona COVID-19 pandemic. And I just needed to get this done for her right away. I bought this on Amazon. I didn't want to go into the store during this time and be around people. So I'm going to leave an Amazon affiliate link. Please click on it. They'll deliver it to your house. It only costs about 10 cents more than if you bought it in the store. Look at this. There's the water line. The water filled up directly below the water line. This is below the top, so the cover is going to fit on here now. I'm going to check the bottom. I feel no water leaking from, I feel no water leaking. I'm not even going to cut the water hose shorter. Everything's fine. Okay, so I think we're done. This is, and I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not going to install the flapper now. If you want to install the flapper, very easy to do. You just hook these things over the little posts down there, and then it's done. So that is how you install the FluidMaster, I don't have the name of it, the FluidMaster 400A and almost all FluidMaster fill valves for the toilet. Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe, thumbs up, and click on that Amazon affiliate link.